So the Animal Crossing Direct is coming on October 15th, which also happens to be Brewster's birthday. It's going to be 20 minutes in length, and it seems like it's going to be focused on covering all content related to the Roost Cafe that was revealed to be coming to the museum, run by none other than the fabled Brewster. But also, 20 minutes is quite a long time, so there could be other announcements related to quality of life features, or just more content in general that is going to be revealed. Nintendo hasn't had a direct presentation geared specifically towards Animal Crossing since before the game came out, so this event is especially exciting. In the German thumbnail of the Direct, we can actually see a little sneak preview of Brewster making coffee at the counter. It actually makes me so excited. And thank you, Cora, for pointing that out to me last minute. I wouldn't have put it in the video. DodoCodes.com has taken the liberty of unblurring the screenshot for us, and we can get a clearer look at Brewster this way, although it still kind of looks like a watercolor painting. But we can get a closer look at the platery and machinery that Brewster uses to make the coffee that he serves. There have been many theories out there about the content updates we will get to hear about this Direct, and I'm here to talk about them, as well as give my input on what I think could be possibly in this mysterious Direct. Of course, I'm trying to keep my expectations low because, you know, Nintendo. Yeah, that's right, I'm still on this white picket fence that didn't add to the game. You included it in the promo material for the game. I'm not letting it go. Where the fence is, Nintendo? Huh? Anyway, the Roost returning is the only thing we know about the Direct so far, and many people have been wondering exactly how it will work. Like, how exactly will we meet Brewster, and how will we get the Roost Cafe Museum upgrade? Well, the player will probably unlock it using a similar method that they used to unlock the art exhibition with. I think one possibility is that Brewster will open a little coffee cart that can be opened up at resident services on a certain day of the week. And then after the player buys enough coffee, Brewster will open a shop in the museum, which is similar to how you buy art from Red from the ship and then donate it to the museum to unlock the art exhibit. An alternative possibility is that Blathers will simply say that there is room in the museum for an upgrade, and then the coffee shop will move in along with Brewster. But I'm guessing there are going to be some sort of requirements for the player to get an upgrade. I guess we'll see in the Direct. But what can we even do in the Roost? In the past Animal Crossing games, he was a character that sold a cup of coffee to the player for 200 bells per day and was pretty blunt at first with the way he spoke to the player. Brewster worked in a similar way to how Sable worked, where the player could build friendship with them over time. That is, only if you bought enough coffee from Brewster and respected his wishes by drinking it hot. He's not too fond of people who let their coffee get cold. Likely, this friendship mechanic will return to New Horizons along with a coffee minigame. If you drank 6 coffees over the time period of 6 days, Brewster offered you a job working at the cafe starting at 11 AM through 11 PM. And in that minigame, you could make coffee for your villagers. And even though it was a simplistic minigame, it was actually really fun to play around with. I think we will see this mechanic return, but I'd be surprised if it worked in the exact same way that it used to. In New Leaf, you had to guess through trial and error how much sugar, milk, and coffee beans each villager wanted. I'm guessing the same system will return, but personally, I feel like they should maybe change it up somehow. I've suggested this before, but I feel like a minigame in the style of Cookie Mama could really work well for New Horizons. I'm hoping to see some sort of coffee minigame because I feel like it would be a lot more fun than the guessing game we play now with the milk, sugar, and coffee bean amounts. I feel like most people just look it up online anyway, so this removes all of the guesswork and adds more fun to the game. I'm assuming we will also see the return of the Cafe Furniture series, which you could earn as a daily reward by working at the cafe. Although most of the items you could earn in New Leaf have become normal furniture items in New Horizons, so I'm interested to see what kind of changes they'll make to the cafe set that you could earn only through Brewster. However, I think that we might see some additional rewards as well, such as some more reactions. We have all these empty reaction slots, so I think it'd be interesting to see if we can maybe get reactions as a reward for working our very hard cafe jobs. I'm also hoping to see some more held cosmetic items to get added to the game as rewards for completing jobs at the cafe. These predictions are a little far-reaching, but I think because we got all those food and drink items recently, such as boba and cotton candy, I can definitely see more of these type of items getting added in this update. If not as rewards, then maybe we can order them as other items in the cafe. Who's to say we only have to serve coffee here at the Roost? There's opportunity for breakfast items, pastries, desserts, and even more. I think expanding the possibility of what you can order at the Roost will make it a lot more lively. Although now that we have this unblurred screenshot of Brewster, who knows if we're actually gonna get food. It doesn't look like there's anything behind him. But, you know, I could dream. Another thing the Roost had in the past was a stage where KK Slider would take song requests and play music every Saturday night after 8 p.m. In New Horizons, KK Slider currently plays music and takes requests in the same way at resident services that day. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this issue considering KK can't be in two places at one time. A good way to handle this would be to have KK come on 2 days where you can request KK songs. One day in the Roost and one day at resident services. I think they might even have KK show up on a random day at the Roost, giving the player a little surprise when they see him on stream. On stream! He's a streamer! Roost, oh my god, it's KK! My favorite streamer. During your time in the cafe in the previous games, you also got to find out more about the villagers just by talking to them while they sat and drank coffee. I feel like this is a great opportunity for the developers to address something many fans have been talking about for a while, and that is the villager interactions. It's no secret that villager interactions in this game are a little bit lacking compared to the original game. Lunar Rover, yup, I definitely dropped that. That's mine. How did you know? Thank you. What? You just took half of my money! Hello? What? And I think we will see them showcase some special NPCs like Rover entering the cafe and chatting with a player, and even NPCs that you don't usually get to meet, such as Mr. Rossetti or Don. I think this would be a great opportunity for the player to meet and learn about NPCs that the player usually wouldn't get to see during normal gameplay. And I think it's highly likely that we will see some surprise NPCs in this direct come into the Roost. One of the things I'm most excited about seeing the return of is gyroids. Gyroids are really important to the Animal Crossing series, and I was really sad to see when they didn't make a return to New Horizons. Except, you know, for Lloyd, the construction worker. The last of his kind. Hang in there, buddy. You're getting friends soon. I feel it. I feel it's coming. But I'm really confident that gyroids will make a return this direct because of the connections gyroids have with Brewster. There used to be a gyroid storage service that Brewster offered at the cafe, and there are also special themed gyroids based upon Brewster's character design that you can get as a rare reward for working at the cafe. To give you a brief description on what gyroids are, they are basically musical furniture items that each produce a unique sound. They also play the sound to the tempo of whatever song is playing nearest to them. So you could play some song on the radio and tune your gyroids to it. And you could also make your own music with them as well. And there were so many to collect. Gyroids will most likely be buried around your island each day in a similar fashion that fossils are buried around your island each day now, because that's how it worked in the previous games. I also think they might add gyroids to the Critterpedia this time, just to have another tab open for collectibles. Although, it doesn't really make a lot of sense because gyroids aren't critters. But, you know, neither are fossils. Anyway, I'm excited to have another collection to fill. We also need a place to store and display them, so who knows? We might just get another museum room in this update. A big part of why people are still playing Animal Crossing is the decorating aspect of the game. We love sharing pictures and videos of our islands to the world on social media, and I feel like there are some simple things Nintendo could add to keep that part of the community happy. Now, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to briefly talk about a data mine that happened 6 months ago. It was found that there was evidence of fence customization that was put into the game, meaning we might actually finally get to see the fabled white fence we saw in the promo art as well as many other colors. Either way, I think adding a simple few color variations to the existing fences will give the game a lot more life. Speaking of villager interactions, by the way, I'm really hoping that Nintendo brings back the old errand system. In previous games, you were allowed to ask the villager if they needed an errand done or just to entertain you. This is a feature that I think would get many people talking to their villagers again, and although I don't think the game will ever get as dark or as satirical as the original game... What? You know, from this angle, you actually look pretty fit. Oh, my boyfriend has put on some weight recently. It wouldn't have happened. Wait, what is going on? It wouldn't have happened if he didn't play games all day. He wasn't like this when we started dating. Maybe I should find someone like you. I think we could see some entertaining dialogue come with this feature. This is actually the feature I'm hoping for most that gets announced this direct. I think it would be really fun to have this in the game and get people playing again. I just had so much fun in the original Animal Crossing playing with this specific feature because it offered so many possibilities. There are also a lot of quality of life features people have been requesting, such as the ability to craft multiple items at once and adjusting the volume and sound effects of the game to mute the music. I think we might actually see some quality of life features announced, considering that it probably won't take all 20 minutes to go through all of the Roost content, but you know, it's hard to tell. Nintendo is a wild card most of the time. The reason I think Nintendo might address some of the quality of life features that people have been requesting is because that they have addressed quality of life features in the past, such as tapping the A button fast while crafting to speed up the animation. This fast crafting feature was actually added after the 1.0 version of the game. The developers also nerfed the amount of eggs replacing resources during the first Bunny Day event after many complaints. So the developers do hear the plights of the community, and I think they'll likely take some of the suggestions into consideration. Speaking of that, sometimes players play games differently than the developer had intended. I don't think the developers of Animal Crossing foresaw the craziness that is villager hunting, but it is an extremely popular thing that people have been doing. Basically, people have been taking hundreds and sometimes thousands of Nook Mile tickets to find one specific villager that they want. It's kind of like shiny hunting in Pokemon. It's an insanely popular thing that players are doing in the game, so I think they might add some quality of life features related to it, like Orville immediately taking you to the next Mystery Island, or maybe some way to speed up the Nook Mile ticket gathering out of the ATM, because you know, it's really slow. Anyway, those are just some things that I think Nintendo will announce during their Direct on October 15th. Let me know if you liked any of my ideas, or if you have any ideas of your own in the comments. Thank you. Have a nice day. See ya.